AUG 9mm is iconic because of how it looks. The metal magazine adapter and the metal magazine give it a somewhat weird but pleasing retro look. But is iconic looking good enough? The Austrian Police says no. And that's because there now is another option for the 9mm AUG that I'm gonna show you in this video. Let's talk about the origins of this kit first, and for that we have to go way into the past. This is the AUG 9mm that was designed in the late 80s, and it was good enough for the Austrian Police for almost 30 years. In the Austrian Police they called it the MP 88, which means Machine Pistol 88. When finally a few years ago the old STG 77 and the MP 88 got replaced by the AUG BMI version, which is essentially a spiked up A3 variant, this wasn't the end of the MP 88, and that's because the Austrian Police wanted an opportunity to train with cheaper ammo, and also the Austrian Police doesn't have access to that many ranges that are rated for a 223, and therefore they would prefer to use 9mm so that they can use their own ranges and, well, don't need to build new ranges for the BMI 223 AUG. But there was a problem with that idea. The 9mm stick mags handle a bit differently than the 223 waffle mags, so the police asked Steyr to come up with an idea, and that's the idea. With these new 9mm magazines, Steyr was definitely inspired by the AR-15 ANUMAG, while the ANUMAG replaces the 223 internals of AR-15 magazines with 9mm internals. But the Steyr mags are no conversion, they are made as these magazines. The magazines are fully transparent and they have bullet indicators for 10, 20 and 28 rounds on both sides of the magazine, as well as a clearly visible orange follower. Well, they hold 28 rounds, which isn't as much as 30 rounds, like the original 223 magazines, but it's way better than the 25 rounds the original MP 88 magazine holds. Also, if you have an AUG 9mm kit as well, you will be pleased to know that loading the new magazines are way easier on the finger than loading the MP 88 magazine, which they're gonna like break your finger for the last 10 or so rounds. So no more finger breaking. And of course there's another advantage. No more 9mm magazine means bye-bye magazine adapter and hello 9mm magazine full-size waffle style. Removing the 9mm adapter also removes another potential issue. If you've seen my other AUG 9mm video, you know there are two common types of adapters for the Steyr AUG 9mm around. One uses the old MP E69 magazines and one uses the MP 88 magazines, the new one with the bolt hold open feature. Well, thing is, both magazines fit in both adapters, but if you're using a MP E69 magazine in a newer MP 88 magazine style adapter, this can cause problems that mostly look like failures to feed, failures to eject, and you don't want to have that. So by removing the magazine adapter and removing the old stick type magazines that are essentially almost look the same and fit in each other's adapters, but they're not compatible with each other, you remove that potential problem of someone grabbing a wrong magazine and having a really bad time in a situation when the firearm jams or fails to load when you actually need that firearm. Now, if you're familiar with firearms, you noticed there is an ejector right on the 9mm magazine adapter, but there is not on the new AUG 9mm magazine. So you're gonna ask, how the heck is this gonna work? Well, Steyr had a rather clever idea for this problem. They added the ejector directly to the trigger bag. Here is a standard 9mm trigger bag for comparison, which is actually the standard AUG 223 trigger bag. So you can see that's the normal one, and this one has the extended ejector piece. So that's why the new 9mm AUG kit comes with the complete trigger pack with the ejector mounted up there and a bunch of magazines. Actually, you don't need the whole new trigger pack, you would just need this part with the extended ejector. But Steyr delivers it that way probably because so you don't have to switch this by yourself, or in case of the police, just get out with the old, slap in the new, and you're done. Also, of course, it's always nice to have an additional trigger pack, because with the AUG 9mm new trigger pack and with the standard trigger pack, you can just switch out trigger packs, put in the adapter, put out the adapter, and have the AUG 9mm of your preferences. How good do the new 9mm magazines work? Pretty well so far. There are no malfunctions, the bolt stays open when the last round is fired, and the bullets ain't go pew spraying when you drop the magazine, and of course they also handle like original magazines. Just put them out, put them in like they should, so no complaints here yet. But do they look as good and iconic as the original 9mm AUG magazines and adapter? You'll be the judge of that. Let me know in the comments if you prefer the new style look with the transparent 9mm magazines or the old style look with the metal magazines. If you want to get one of the new 9mm AUG magazine kits, well, I've got bad news for you. These are only sold in Austria right now, and they are contract overruns. So chances are that Steyr probably will never produce any more of these 9mm waffle style magazines. But, well, it's a big but, as always. There's a slight chance that Steyr will bring the 9mm adapter that works with Glock magazines that was featured on the AUG 40 Smith & Wesson, so maybe there's gonna be another option. I mean, it won't be as cool as this one because, come on, waffle magazines, transparent, 9mm, it looks awesome. But there may be a chance that Steyr will make this Glock magazine adapters. But hope dies last, doesn't it? And that only leaves me with one more thing left to say. Until we meet again, guys and gals, bye-bye!